Proverbs 13:11, dishonest money dwindles away, but whoever gathers money little by little makes it grow. When it comes to this life, success, moving forward, it's very much a compound effect. You'll start off implementing a good discipline. Whether it's working out, it may be difficult and you have to grow into that. Your spiritual capacity has to grow. And then working out is like, okay, after this, what do? Rather than going on my phone, I'll just read books. Little things that you add, it can feel like a very tedious process because it's layers day and day that compound until you're at the end of the vision. For example, getting jacked. One day you feel like this is kind of pointless, and then you show up the next day, you feel small, you do it the next day and the next day and the next day, and then after a while, when everything compounds, you look like Captain America hopping out of the machine. That's what it's like for everything in life. It's little by little, and it just grows and it expands. The reason I'm talking about money is because there is 4 pillars of success that a man needs to focus on. There's faith, family, and then there's fitness, and then there's finances. The divine balance is having all of these watered, having all of these tended to without sacrificing one for the other. Many times in my life, I'll be working or doing so many different things that I don't have time to read my Bible, or I don't want to, or I'm not spending time with God. Or you could be so lost in work that you're not pouring into your family in a healthy way, and then the relationships affect you. Mastering those will give you a very fruitful life, and you honestly need wisdom and discernment because sometimes you can't always focus on all of those. There's a time and there's a season for each one. When it comes to family, there's a time and there's a season to pour into your wife if you have one, to pour into your family, and then there's a season where you need to focus on finances, and if your wife or family's too needy and it crosses over, it's like, leave me alone, like, get out of here. You know what I mean? It's a healthy balance, and it could be a bad balance if you're overworking and then your family or your wife is like, you're not showing me enough attention, which is true. Or even God, you're overworking and God's like, when are you gonna speak to me? When are you gonna get revelation? When are you gonna come to me? The reason fitness is important is because first and foremost, it gives you endorphins, which makes you happy, it makes you more productive, and it really is the foundation for every other success. With working out, I noticed you got to lift more weight, you need more resistance to grow, you got to break down the muscle. And then I get into singing and music, and it's the same thing with your voice. You need resistance, you need to sing in different ranges, higher and lower. You got to work out your voice just like your muscles in the gym so it can grow. And that's just like our spirits as well. It needs resistance, it needs challenge, it needs more to grow. So it carries over into every other principle of life. Finances, that's a fine balance as well. Whoever is greedy for gain troubles his own house. You don't want to be greedy, you want to be generous, but yes, God wants you to be abundant, and that's a balance as well when it comes to money. So it does take wisdom that you need to seek God for, of, hey, when do I focus on finances, purpose on accumulating, and then when do I focus on whether it be a wife, family, whatever. And sometimes you can focus on all of that. That will come with time and spiritual capacity. When you grow and grow and grow, you can do more, you can tend to more. Those 4 pillars are the pillars of success, and you will have a great fruitful life. All of that is watered properly at the proper time, in the proper season. It's a divine order, because many men, they only hyper focus on one seed, they only focus on finances, and their family suffers. They don't even have time for God, and they're just at the gym grunting in pride, and they're angry and they're mad and they're broken and they're shattered, and they're making TikToks with like sad 15-year-old boy music. Hey there, Delilah, singing and crying, doing weird stuff. They're bleeding leaders. You do not want to be that. Do the family, do the wife, pour into those areas, use wisdom, but also the finances, because that will give your wife, your family security, more fruitfulness. Like, it all webs and flows. And then you have faith, which will give you direction when Christ is at the head, which then will be good for your relationship. All of these, I'm telling you, come together, and they need a balance. And if you work on those pillars, faith, finances, family, fitness. Fitness is something great because it builds discipline, so you can transfer over into finances. And even if you just focus too much on family or your wife, like, that's not healthy as well, because she'll be like, like, oh, that's a child, like that's a baby, like needy. And it's kind of attractive when you're doing your purpose, accumulating, right, and you're busy and all of these things, and then the person who does like you will be like, hey, show me attention, like chasing after you, and you're like, just get out of my face. It's healthy, but it's not healthy to be hyper focused on any of these areas.